Hello all. Today I'm back with another video wherein I'll be just explaining you on the standard material types that are available in SAP as of now. So material type represents actually a certain feature of components or materials in the system, and they have certain important control functions. The material type is actually used among other things to group field selection, functions of a material, or to define the screen sequence. So now, of course, we can create our own material types and we can have different attributes for them, customized material types. But we do have standard material types as provided by SAP. And let's go through them one by one over here. So now if you see here, we have different material types. To start with, it is CONT, that is Kanban container. So now this is a material type that is provided by SAP to use for creating Kanban containers. Now a Kanban container is used in the Kanban container based system at a manufacturing plant. Okay, so it is used to transport the material from the supply area to the manufacturing locations. And that's how we'll be using the Kanban container material type. Then we have services, that is DIEN. So services are either internally supplied or maybe externally supplied by a vendor. So we do have service material master records, but we will not have storage information. The services will involve activities like consulting services or installation services or any sort of training services. So these are the kind of services what we have, and we have the material type DIEN. Then we have ERSA, that is spare parts. Now, spare parts are materials that are used for equipment maintenance in a certain plant. Okay, so whenever there is a maintenance of a particular machinery which would have broken down and we need to replace a spare part, that is where this would come into picture. If the maintenance item is sold, then it should use a different material type such as a trading good. Then we have FERT, that is finished products. So now finished product or finished goods is a component that is being manufactured internally, and the finished product is not a purchased item. It is normally it will be internally procured product. Then we have FHMI, that is production resources tools. In short, you can refer to that as PRT as well. So PRTs are purchased and used by the plant maintenance department, and this material type is assigned to items that are used in the maintenance of plant equipments like drill bits or calibrating tools and so on. Then we have HAVA, that is trading goods. So trading goods are generally components that are purchased from the vendors, and these kind of material type only allows purchasing and sales information. So in the sense, like, you'll have only the purchasing related and sales related views, because there are no internal operations that are carried out on these kind of components because they are intended for the trading purpose. Then we have HERS, that is manufactured parts. So manufactured parts are components that can be supplied by different vendors who use the different part numbers to identify the material or the component. So this type of material can be found in many retail stores. Okay, so for example, you may go to a shop, to a retail store wherein you have a ladder, but the ladder can be made of 3 different manufacturers with different part numbers or different pricing, all that. So manufacturer part number we normally use for the components that is supplied by various vendors who use different part numbers to identify the components. Then let's see the next slide. Okay. Then we have HIB, that is operating supplies. So operating supplies are vendor purchased and used in the production process. So these HIB material time can contain purchasing data, but no sales information, and the kind of products what you can relate to with respect to this material type is like lubricants or compressed air, those kind of components. And then we have IBAU, that is maintenance assembly. But maintenance assembly, we normally don't consider that to be an individual object, but a set of logical elements to separate a technical object. Okay, for example, like you have a car, which can be a technical object, and even transmission or axles and the engine and so on, other maintenance assemblies. So IBAU material type contains basic data and classification data. Then we have KMAT, that is KMAT, which is configurable material. So configurable materials form the basis for variant configuration. So the KMAT material type is used for all components that are variant configured materials. Okay, so then we have LEER, that is empties. So these are the materials consisting of returnable transport packaging and can be subjected to nominal deposit. So empties can be made from several materials grouped together in a bill of material. Examples of empties can be like a pallet or a bottle or a box, crate, and so on. Then we have LIEH, which is returnable packaging. So returnable packaging is used to pack finished goods to send to the customer. So when the finished goods are unpacked, the customer is expected to return the packaging component back to the supplier. I mean, whoever would have supplied that, he is expected to return that packaging component back to the vendor. Then we have NLAG, which is non-stock material type. So this material type is used for procurement of consumable items wherein we are not maintaining the stock either on quantity nor on value basis in the inventory management. So these are the components which are procured and meant for direct consumption. And then we have pipeline material, that is PIPE, pipeline. So the pipeline material type is assigned to components that are bought into the production facility by pipeline. So we normally say like material which flows through pipe. For example, like you have water supply, the electricity, the oil supply. So all of these kind of transactions, we will be going ahead with pipe as the material type. Then we have raw materials. Now, raw material is a externally procured material in a larger sense, which we normally buy to cater to the production needs in an organization. So that is a raw material. Generally, when an externally procured material, we would normally not going for sales views. So there may be a situation wherein a raw material may be procured internally as well and externally as well. But on a larger scale, we normally refer to ROH as a raw material part wherein the component is bought from an external source. Then we have UNBW, which is non-valuated material. So again, this is also used for buying consumables. We surely use this for buying consumables as well, wherein quantity basis update happens, but not the value basis. Okay, so here example would be like even in plant maintenance department, this can be used where materials are extremely important to the plant equipment, but do not have any value. So they would be using UNVW as the material type. Then we have VARP, which is packaging material. So here the packaging material type for materials that are packaged but are free of charge. So here we need to have a differentiation between empties, that is LEER material type and this one. So in LEER, the material, once it is being consumed, the customer is going to return the packaging component back to the vendor. But here, the material which is being supplied to the customer, the packaging will be a part of it. So they need not have to return it. So that is packaging material. And then we have WETT, which is competitive products. So this is used by the sales department to monitor competitors' goods. Okay, so the material type is used to identify these type of products. But in this case, only the basic data will be maintained for the components. Okay, so this is just to monitor the goods of the competitors. So in addition to this, we have additional material types for in SAP retail. For example, like we have FRIP for perishables, or non-food items, NOF1, then FGTR for beverages. But these are the standard material types what we have as per the standard SAP system.